Wait, what? What's that say? Branson. Branson? Hey, I thought this was supposed to be the Grand Lake vlog. Come on, Brody.
I don't know.
Alright, so this is the deal. Y'all probably know by now. Grand Lake was supposed to be this week right here. And we are headed to Branson, Missouri, back to Table Rock. Now, there's a reason behind that. Some of you know, some of you might not know. A lot of rain, a lot of weather out there, flooding, tornadoes, all that crazy stuff has been happening over there in Tulsa and that Grand Lake area. The water is way, way high. Actually, almost like, I believe, like as high as it could possibly get. Like some of that water is possibly even going over the dam. So they're full capacity. It would be almost near impossible to fish the tournament over there and get all this out there on the water. So they moved the tournament back here to Table Rock, which is sort of interesting. At first I was like, I don't know about that. But then as I started to think about it, there's one major thing that's different, and that is we're fishing from 12 o'clock in the afternoon to 8 o'clock at night. So that'll be, or somewhere around that, in the afternoon event. So that's gonna be sort of cool for a lot of people to be watching on MLF now, be able to see what's happening, whether you're working on a regular 9 to 5. This way you're gonna actually be able to see that the last period. So you're gonna see a little bit of what's going on. On top of that, 10 days or 13, 14 days later, by the time we end up actually fishing the tournament, a lot is going to happen. A lot has changed on Table Rock. The water has come up and then it went back down. Water is back down about 1.5 feet above pool. But with rain expected tomorrow, imagine that first day of practice up to 1 inch. Does that sound familiar or what? Always. So looking forward to this one though, because I want to see if there's how much has changed. This is what's cool for me to be able to take you guys along on this. Is I get to be able to show you how much things change on a lake in a short amount of time. Maybe, you know, or maybe not change. You know, we're gonna see. I don't expect to fish a lot of the same spots or places that I fished. Some of the same places I got some bites I'll probably revisit, but I assume that these fish are gonna be further along their summer patterns. More fish are gonna be done spawning, so we're gonna have more fish that are out offshore, which I'm looking forward to firing up those Lowrance units and graphing around and hopefully finding a few fish dinged up so I can show you guys how to find them. So that is the plan. We are almost to Branson, which we have our meeting here at about 45 minutes or so. So we're gonna get there and then headed to the lake house and get that thing ready to roll, get ready for tomorrow morning, and get ready to start practice. Alright, we made it here in Branson at the Civic Center, getting ready for the meeting. We have it every single time. About to walk in, I got DC and Adrian right there, literally. Look at them boys. Hey. That's how to get them. They didn't call. They did not. Adrian didn't even flinch. He knew it was gonna happen. It's all good. Might have broke a window too. It's all good. I'm going in the exit door. I'm gonna slide back this way. This is where you're not supposed to go in at. It's all good though. We're here. All right, y'all. Day 1 of practice. I know I'm slacking, so it's sort of hard because it's like, do you go out here and get out here on a morning bite that you know is not going to be productive, probably for that noon to 8 o'clock period. So I'm sort of like, figure take it easy a little bit. Just got daylight. I'm still gonna get out there like an hour after daylight. But the thing is, I'm thinking, you know, take it a little bit easier and then really try to go hard that 12 to 8 o'clock hour. Because what happens is, like, if it was sunny right now, there'd be like shade lines that would form in areas from like 9 to 12-ish, somewhere in there. As it gets later in the day, there'd be like a completely different side of a pocket that's gonna have a shade on it. You might get caught up like, oh, that's a good bank, but then you go back there and the blazing sun's on there, and the only way you catch them is at like 7 o'clock throwing top water on the bank. Or, you know, so more than likely I'll probably spend a lot of my time off the offshore looking at places, like whether it's brush, whether it's points, places I feel like the fish are moving out to. Water's dropped a considerable amount. So we're just gonna see. Overall though, it's a pretty dang cool view waking up this morning, looking at the lake. Biggest shout out to Trey for letting us stay here, because pretty easy to get up and just want to stay here and just sit on the patio drinking coffee, which will be nice on our day off. That's for sure. Actually, on every morning, because we don't have to be fishing until noon. Got my name banana. I got my.
I just wish I could go fishing. I gotta go to work. My name's Trey Miller. I'm from Springfield, Missouri. I'm getting to hang out with these guys.
We're slacking. I'm sitting over here trying to do homework, trying to get my dang graphs working right. It's one thing. Just get them right, making sure my Ethernet cables are sharing and everything. We're gonna make it out there, I promise. We out. Thanks, Trey.
Dude,
Are you me locking anything up? Shut anything?
are you staying? Yeah, I'm gonna be here for a little bit longer.
Okay.
So,
we appreciate it. Obviously, just man, it worked out just perfectly. So
yeah, I'm glad it worked out.
We'll try to treat it like our own. So that's
I'm not worried about
that's
that.
why I'm on them boys. I'm like, hey, listen here, you son of a guns here. You go over here, you get over there, you mop that up, you wipe that down. I'll stay on it, Trey.
You're good, man.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, have a good one. Good luck.
Up there! Whoa, 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 whoa! We are getting ready to launch mid-lake right here at Mill Creek. You know, I fished up the James the first time, and I still want to stay around that area, but I feel like the fish are going to be moving a little bit differently. You know, I think this big rain tonight will definitely change some things. So I don't know if I want to necessarily run up there right now. Let this rain get through, and then maybe tomorrow go up the James. So I'm gonna plan on fishing around Kimberling City, and then run up the White a decent amount, maybe to about Kings River. You know, there's some fish that will stay in water up that way too. I want to fish the Clearwater a little bit more, see if I can't find some schools of fish offshore. Being 10 days later, that is my plan. So I'd love to fish this event where I'm fishing off the bank, and fishing places that those fish are just coming to. That's the way I like to fish, especially this time of year. So that is my plan. Maybe a crankbait, single swim bait, drop shot, Nico. I think you're gonna be good. So maybe a Ned rig if you have to, but we're gonna try to hunt them up today, and hopefully find a few fish offshore where I can show you guys a few things about graphing around. Well, we've seen a couple out here offshore in about 25. I don't know if it's them or not, but it looked like they were darting up and down, some spotted bass. I'll pick up a fairy one, and I'm dragging around right now, but I'm just sort of looking on my graph on my 2D, trying to sort of move around because they really weren't on a piece of brush or a rock that I seen. There's some I think that might be sliding up, sort of pitching around. There is some like scattered rock and hard stuff, but I didn't see them like really truly grouped up. I'm anticipating those fish being out here, but I'm not so sure. I haven't seen them dinged up. Now the sun's a big deal. That helps a lot when those fish get set up offshore a lot better. Casting. Spot. I'm seeing a lot of these fish are getting real goofy about me being on top of them. That's actually a nice one, actually. 15.5-inch spotted bass, so probably close to a 2-pounder. Nice fish though. Drop shot fish. Not a whole lot came with him though. That's the only problem. I don't like just pitching around. It's sort of lame. So every once in a while I'll bring my drop shot up and then drop it right back on their head, see if they slide back down to look at it. That fish seems like he's really lethargic. He didn't go down there real quick. The first time he did, but now he's sort of, oop. There was a bite right there. I'm not seeing the numbers. See, that's not a bass. Can't be. He didn't follow it down. There's actually a couple fish that followed it down. They're real tight to those rocks. I'm not seeing schools of them. I did when I graphed over. I seen some fish that were grouped up out here, but see, I hate just casting around on places unless there's like a brush pile right there or an ice lip. You'll see there's some rock. I'll try to show you this as much as I can. You see there's some rock, and they'll sort of get on those places, like on that rock right there, but that can be a little bit more, I don't know, it's tough. It's tough. They can, 32 to 35 seems a little deep right now, but I could see them sort of setting up on that rock a little bit. That's my problem, not seeing the sheer numbers of fish that I want to see. Now what I'm throwing right now is my 7-foot medium action rod. You know, for any drop shot purposes, you want to use something that has a pretty soft tip, for me anyway. This is a finesse Nico hook. You'll sort of see that rod bends real tough towards the top, but then it goes to backbone pretty high up in here. So whatever rod you're looking for, I mean, realistically, looking for something that has a little bit of tip on it, 7 foot, 7.2, you know, somewhere in that 7-foot area, maybe even a 6'10" if if you like it a little bit shorter and you like to drop on them. But that's what I like. I'm throwing 10-pound, actually this is 8-pound Suffolk's nano braid. I sort of mix it up between 10-pound 832 and some nano braid. I really like that nano braid because it goes out of my spool really quickly. And then this is a Shimano casting reel. But so that's sort of my setup. quarter ounce weight, and for drop shot fishing, that's what you want. That's at least what I've found that I really like. You know, if you're fishing Tennessee River drop shot and you might beef it up a little bit, you might not need that lighter action rod as much, but that's what I personally like, and that's what's worked for me even in the past. Gosh, I had him. Gosh dang it, I had it son of a gun. So there are some spots out here, but it doesn't seem like there's a bazillion of them. There's some on it right now. Right there, that's exactly what I want to see. High spot, it's about 26 feet deep, good spot. So I don't know, we'll see. Throw a swim bait over it first maybe, and then pick up a drop shot. So let me go hit this, standby, cancel. There's a few fish around us right now. Bang, hit standby so we can save some more power. Maybe catch one. Let's see here, line up on our place. Small swim bait over it. Let's use my 0.1. So the 0.1 sort of basically is your heading. So it's like if I'm heading over here, it's gonna obviously point me that direction. So I know, like, no matter what, if my boat, even if I'm not moving, but my boat turns, it's gonna show me where the tip of my boat is pointed at, which is really, really nice when you're trying to fish brush or something specific. Those fish are out in 33. Sometimes I just like to make sure I'm not missing something. Single swim bait. All right, we're about perfect. We're about 75 feet out. All right, throwing that little small Largo shad, 3-inch. So make sure you go to the bottom, wind that thing real slow. Didn't get a bite on that cast. Smaller swim bait. On that swim bait right by that little place, because there are some fish in there now. Should theoretically be able to get a bite. Okay, so did that. Threw a swim bait over it, which is what I like to do. And I'll pick up that little Slim Shake, 3/16-ounce head. And this is sort of like the progression of how, a lot of times I'll fish clear water brush, Maybe throw a swim bait, throw something around it, you know, maybe those fish that are suspended or high, maybe a jerk bait or a top water. If I'm off of them a little ways, the biggest one's normally more apt to bite. If I'm on top of them and they hear that click, 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 and the sound of the transducer, a lot of times that lets those more mature bass know, like, all right, something's not right, and then that little guy boom, bites your stuff. So always trying to, didn't hit it there, but got close. No, I got real close on that one. So I'm gonna slide back up. Have not got a bite yet, so that's not good. I don't like that, because I've seen a few there. And this is when I start plinking around. And what I mean by that is, this is when I start getting up on top, and if I start seeing them getting closer to where I think those fish are at, dropping on them, dropping in the brush. Some of those fish are definitely not bass. Utilizing my electronics up here, if I can find them. Because a lot of times what happens is when you idle over them, the spots will follow your sound of your motor. They're just gone, and you have to wait for them to set back up and come back over and fish it. But it doesn't seem like they're there. I'm not seeing them on the graph. They're being a lot more fickle than I'd like them to be. Huh. Anyway, so that is normally the progression of the deal. So 4 deals, or 2 or 3 deals. Basically, you know, throwing like a swim bait, like that Largo shad over the top, then picking up a shaky head or a jig, and then picking up a drop shot and going up here and sort of planking around a little bit. And that's sort of how, you know, I'll fish a brush pile. Drop it down there. There he is. Oh, not a big one at all. Not a big one. But look at them all right below us. Pop him out. Let you go, buddy. Ooh, they're all right there. Perfect. Get on it, get on it, get on it. Go down there, go down there, go down there. Go get it, go get it. I think they went down there to go get it. Gosh. Them little suckers. Problem is, I don't see, like, I'm not getting those bites. It's not easy to get a bite, I know that. Let's roll. Alright. There's one right there. So, I've been skipping boat docks, which I already sort of know this is gonna happen. This is gonna work. You know, I figured this is the water dropping out. The fish were gonna definitely bite on the boat docks. I got a bite right there. Actually gonna have to swap out. The sucker stole half my worm. Might have been a walleye, the way it ate it. But anyway. Oh, I had my hook covered up. I didn't have a hook covered up, I just bent it in. And then, yeah, so that, I've had like 5 bites basically doing that exact same thing, so I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure that's not the best, one of the better deals. But I wanted to see if that, I knew that wouldn't probably change, just because the fact is, a lot of these spotted bass and some of these largemouth, when the water drops out, they set up on a lot of these boat docks. There's actually a fish right there. Drop below us. See if we can get one to bite right there. But I'm just wondering how shallow are some of these fish. So that's sort of what I'm more so trying to understand now. If I can catch some, like I've been on a pattern where I can catch them on boat docks, but it's 10 o'clock right now, so start time's actually, you know, obviously a little bit later. A little later, but still the sun's up, and that's the only nice thing before the sun goes away. I want to make sure that I can hit a few areas that I felt like, or hit some stuff that I think is going to be productive for a little while anyway. So that is the plan. There is still some water in these bushes in here. Oh, that's what I thought. Some of these bushes still have water on them. Go up here and throw a little plopping bait around these bushes and see if there's still some bites up shallow. Well, I still have that spinner knot in my hand. I found a couple deals, you know, a couple docks. Found actually some timber that had some fish suspended in it. And then now some brush. I'm sort of pitching out here. I've noticed that these fish, like at least the ones that I've been catching, they've been really goofy about me being on top of them unless there was 20 or 30 of them sitting there. There's one right below the trolling motor right now, but it seems like that's been the way. Let's see if I can slide. One right there. I missed him a little bit. Missed him. It's okay. There he is. But anyway, so I'm just been basically pitching around on some of these places, trying to find them grouped up. I definitely think that's going to be the deal. Hadn't found the biggest wad of them yet that I want to find, but sort of hoping that probably going to move around. I wanted to see, I seen a few fish in this brush. I wanted to see if I could just drag a drop shot through and get a bite pretty easy, or if it wasn't that easy. So wasn't a lot of fish in this brush pile right here, but there was a couple of them, and sometimes you can just get over there and drag around on them and get some bites. That storm's fixing to come in here pretty soon. Casual.
Hey, we low-key about got killed right then. Mark, what happened? Hey, let's go. This was fast. Hey, Lightning just got up. Our line was, my line started sizzling. It was like, bzz, I thought it was a bait. I was sitting there fishing, bzz, and I went, oh my God. Hey, I threw my stuff down, and then Mark threw his down. He said his rod was not cool. Not cool.
Hey, I ain't scared of much. I don't mess around with that lightning, especially when my reels start shocking my hands. No bueno. Ooh, big drop. Raindrop. Big drop.
We gotta go. We gotta go. I took off my trolling motor down.
I just seen lightning, but
Lightning on the lake.
there's Jake.
He's rolling in right there.
Alright, you Gucci, let go. Man, come on.
Let's go.
Come on. Did you get shot?
No, I didn't get shot.
I never felt that before.
Bad? Is it supposed to be bad?
Yeah, it's supposed to be flash flooding right now.
I just got a
Yes, on this so good. Woo!
We're about to get hit. Oh, we ain't gonna make it up this. Hey, my line started whistling like
Hey, my line,
buzzing.
my line, like no joke, started floating.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, started like being up in the air. I'm like, man. Hey, we up at the top of the dang mountain, too.
Really good.
Look out there, bro. It's like that.
You are real dumb. You are so dumb. You are
You are for real.
real dumb.
You are so dumb.
So dumb.
You are really dumb, for real.
So dumb.
Woo! Start heading, chopping on back. I said, ooh.
Practice day, score cracker update.
Hey, we all at the house. Score tracker update. We ain't catching nothing. No, we're taking a little bit of break. A little bitty break. Okay. That's cleaned up. I didn't get a bite off that place. Right before the rain came in. Alright, so practice so far hasn't been too great. Caught a few bass. Ooh, had to take off. Took a little bit of a break with the storm. Winds blowing, cloudy weather. They're biting somewhere. I just want to mess around a little bit. Ran inside, shelter, which I'm glad I did because it got nasty for about 20 minutes there. Now I'm gonna roll down to the dock. Beep, beep. Oh, and it ran a lot. It's nice having Brody up there at the house. And then park this sucker. I'll see y'all later.
You want the chesty again, or?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm out. I'm gonna go try to catch a main bass. Actually, first thing I need to do is put an rain jacket on. I'm gonna probably bring a couple more rods too after. At least they're in the water.
Alright. So I gotta get my dang stuff together because that's not happening real good. They will bite a dirt trick, though. I guarantee they'll bite a dirt trick right now, like on cement. I don't know if they'll bite a top water, that's probably done.
Did get some bites on a shaky head. Might on. Look at that sucker, bad.
You can say what you want.
Crappy. Oh. Turn these units on and call it good. Time to get back out there. Most of the weather's sort of passed. Most of the lightning has gotten out the way. A little bit here and there, but overall we're pretty good. So I'm gonna go drive around a little bit. See y'all this evening. DC go back in. Good.
Bro, go.
Wake up, bro.
Burr. It is cold. It's like 60 degrees outside. I'm like wet. And it's finally stopped raining. Caught quite a few fish. Not a lot of big ones. Maybe a few 2.5, 2 3/4 pounders. Caught a couple of nice spotted bass. Never caught a largemouth. Caught a couple smallmouth too. So that was a little bit different. But really spend the majority of my day graphing behind the, just spending my time behind the wheel, graphing as much as I possibly could, looking for brush, looking for rock, looking for places where these fish were going to get out to. And, it was sort of tough because today wasn't really a true representation of what I feel like the tournament's going to be like more than likely. You're going to have a lot of sun, especially the first day, second day. I don't know, Sunday, I don't know if we're going to have the sun as much. But that first day you're gonna have a lot of sun, so things are gonna change. Fish are gonna position differently. You have a lot of cloud cover, a lot of rain. It's good fish catching conditions, but I don't know if the fish are gonna act the same come Derby Day. So, and how they're gonna change with the weather conditions changing, which is tomorrow's gonna be more like what the tournament's gonna be like.
There. Probably will take a little while.
Probably soggy like us right now, man.
Gosh, how much did it rain today?
I don't know when you look at the water level.
Jeez.
I ain't never cooked on a big green egg. God.
What are you trying to do, bro?
Unbelievable, bro. We'll get him right. Get him started anyway. Oh. Get him right. I put enough coals in there, that's for sure. 350. Cooled him down a little bit. All right. Wash your hands. Put him on the grill. Those are all the hot ones.
these. About 20 minutes. I don't cook brats a lot, but I do know that. 20 minutes, you want your temperature to be about 160. Slow it down a little bit. Should be about right. I'll tell you what, that's one thing that I like is a brat. Pretty solid, man. I've cooked them plenty of times the wrong way, so hoping we can cook them right here in a second. Let them chill for about a minute. I'll come back here. Flip them here, maybe about a minute. Cook them into that side. Watch the fire on. Be careful.
Wheels, man. We just fished 15 hours. My dude's over here cooking on a green egg.
That's right. You gotta switch him up.
He don't stop.
No, I did not. I was the last one on the lake today, so.
This morning?
Yeah.
Well, you slept in?
Not really. I had some rods I need to rig up and stuff.
I hear you.
Put these guys on. Put a few more on.
But that's the thing. I mean, with us not being able to start so early, I mean, it's
sort of like. It's not that big a deal.
No. You think they're done, boy? You ain't gonna get me sick, are you? Yeah, put them back. You put them back on real quick.
No, you see that one? You see that one I want to put on?
I don't mind eating raw sushi, bro, but not brats.
I know. That's why I'm like, Cook them up a little bit. I like cooking them a little bit.
Brats legit.
Jay Rules he didn't step this. He didn't elevate it.
Yeah. He went culinary school.
Yeah, that's what happened. Well, during the off period.
Look, Jay Willis said I'm gonna bust his top 10. Ran straight home culinary school.
For 2 days.
8 o'clock in the morning. Next morning. Culinary school. I'm gonna teach them.
Yeah, I'm gonna show them about some barbecuing.
Yeah, I'm gonna show them what's up.
You see that charcoal that he brought? I never seen that before. Special charcoal. You got it flew in probably.
That's that culinary charcoal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he got it flew in from from
the French Alps.
From Venice.
Venice. Yeah, Venice.
Somewhere.
Yeah, man. That's unreal.
It's about 7:30. 7:30. This is a weird feeling practice day. Look, it's sort of like you don't want to go out there because like the morning bite's like sort of irrelevant, you know. Shad spawn's probably going on right now. Fish are probably blowing up everywhere. So I don't want to go out there and get an idea of like, they're blowing up all over here, they're doing this, when we start at noon. So sleep in, get some rest. Mark, myself, DC, we're all still here. Adrian now, he's putting in his work, so I got to give it to him. Adrian's a little bit further back, and you know the points. I know I'd be the same exact way. Mark's right there on the bubble as well, but you know maybe you find another brush pile, maybe you find another point that you graph over in the tournament, and boom, there they are. So it is sort of important. You could utilize this time, but with being here already one time, it's completely different this time. I haven't fished the bank a lot, but the fish are definitely starting to move out, and that's pretty apparent, you know. So just now, when that sun gets up, that's really going to allow you to really see those fish and really where they're positioned today is going to be a good day, especially afternoon when we're going to be fishing. Normally, the later in the day, from that 12 to 4 o'clock hour, that's always the best time when those fish really get set up on those offshore places. It's something when that sun gets super high. So, long story short, we slept in, we're going fishing. Yeah, I'm gonna make DC a sandwich, okay? Just because I'm nice.
Made with love for DC. So you're walking out here and be like, what the heck?
Oh, bright and early. Well rested.
Maybe. There we go. And things get a little bit wrapped up. Okay. Put him there. Put that there. We got this here. Okay. We're ready to roll. Day 2 of practice starts in like 20 seconds as soon as Brody drops me in the lake. No, I'm just kidding. All right, just dropping in, started practice for day 2. It is late. I mean, don't be hating on me too much. It's like 8 o'clock. So, dropping up here, up the river a little bit, actually here in Baxter. And gonna go out here and see if we can catch a few of them. That's the key, or at least go find a few more. Sun's finally starting to poke out. I can see the break in the clouds just over the hills over there, which is what I want to see. You know, I want to see those breaks in those clouds. I want to see that sun today. You know, those fish should set up pretty decent, but we got to find them, and that's what we're fixing to do. Put the chesty on here in a little bit. Totally forgot to charge the sucker last night. My fault. So we'll go from there. Graph over a few places. I'll try to use the little camera a little bit today when I have it, and to show you guys sort of what I'm looking for when I stop. It's gonna take a little bit more extra effort, but I want to show you guys sort of like what I, you know, if it's good, you know, over okay, like, you know, some of the stuff I'm looking at. Obviously the real good stuff, we see them dinged up everywhere. It's obviously, okay, I'm gonna stop there, but we're gonna, we'll hopefully learn a few things and hopefully find a few bass. I don't think those are bass, but if they are, it's over. That's all I gotta say. I'm almost positive those aren't bass, but we'll mark them, drop something down there just to make sure. Put a little school symbol right there. There, done. All right, first cast. Let's see what they are. I mean, there's enough of them there. Even if there's bass, and it doesn't seem like even white bass though. If I had to guess, it's just like, they weren't streaking or anything. Bass are normally pretty curious, unless they're on like brush or something. So I'm not like super convinced those are bass. But I had to make a couple casts. I mean, that's sort of like a trial and error thing. So as you get better and better with electronics, you start to learn what is and what isn't. But each lake is completely different. You know, Kentucky Lake has a lot of the Asian carp in there, so you have to, sometimes it's just a trial and error thing to get your stuff together. And okay, are those bass? Are they not? They're actually all over the boat right now. Yeah, I don't think so. Had to make sure. Well, I knew better, but at the same point in time, I wanted to make a couple casts
just cause, drop a drop shot down and just make sure they're not following my stuff, or even white bass. A lot of times the white bass, they just didn't seem like game fish. I'm not sure exactly what they are, but whatever they are, there's a ton of them here. Put these units on standby. Life jacket on, and let's keep moving. It's unbelievable how many are there though. All right, so that should be like guaranteed. See them dinged up on the side of that? That's like, you know, you want a swim bait over the top of that. Dunk, dunk. Should get bites. They're about 15 to 20. Let's see if I can get them to bite. Swim bait. More so just out here on this point. Normally you could just wind a swim bait over them. And if there was a whole bunch of them there, you're gonna get a bite pretty quick. That, my friends, is a little mini school of them. There's actually some at the top. You actually see them right here, at the top of this timber right there too. So found us a school. Ha! Did it. Unreal. Found about 3 or 4 places throughout the day. One place right there I caught like 2 and 2 cast. Spotted bass, but I've seen some bigger largemouth. Got to be some largemouth in these places too. Hoping so. Just sort of messing around a little bit, trying to graph around. I just sort of got back into a little bit dirtier water, so the fish seem to be grouped up better. Found, like I said, 2 schools, pretty obvious places. I don't know how, but well, technically probably 3 schools actually, but haven't really found like a sneaky school. And what I mean by a sneaky school is a school that I could sit there and save them if need be. So I'm running around like mad trying to figure it out, but I do have one sneaky technique. So I don't know if it's going to work in the tournament or not, but I'm not going to tell you guys yet what it is. You're going to have to watch the next video to find out. It's pretty excited about it. I had to overnight some stuff. Yeah, so that's all I'm going to tell you right now, but I found a couple schools, sneaky technique, hoping that we can make this thing work. First day is tomorrow. Get the back. Well, you always gotta have a buzzbait tied on, especially in evening tournaments. Back in the day, I remember fishing the White River back at the house, and we would catch them suckers like at the last bit of light. Like there'd be like a time where you get around those boat docks and the back sides of the boat docks, catch like 1 or 2 big ones before the night was over. And I just remember that. So I've always been in love with a buzzbait. In an evening tournament, it just wouldn't be right not having a buzzbait tied on. Get that shade lines, things get right. You gotta have a buzzer ready to roll. So I might actually tie you 2 of them on. The buzzbait I throw all the time. So if some of you guys are always looking for a buzzbait, is an Accent. It's one of my signature series buzzbaits. Like, you know how like you get like just a name brand buzzbait, they're never like tuned right, or they never sound really good out of the package. You have to mess around with them a lot. I wanted it to where like I could just pull it out, tie it on, and it's ready to go. I had an opportunity to work with Accent like probably 4 or 5 years ago. It's a good buddy of mine in Indiana, and we just tweaked that buzzbait to exactly what I wanted. And it comes basically like a frame like this one right here, right there. Just the frame right there. So it has a little keeper for if I want to throw like a little crawl on there. It actually comes with a skirt, but this one right here, I just actually get them with the frame. So if I want to put a skirt on there, I can. If not, I'll show you what I also do a lot of times. Cut them down, taking a little bit of the lead off to where I can just throw that toad over there. So some of you guys are like, well, how do you throw that toad, rig that toad over the head? So basically, without buying like a toad buzzbait, I just, one specifically designed for it, I just cut it up to where if I want one like that, I can't, I can just tweak it and it's ready to go. So, and you can even rig a toad all the way to the head, but it's harder to push it up over the head because it'll split the toad. But That's my deal. I'm telling you, I've caught a lot of bass on my summer gun day. A lot of bass.
Will,
Yes, sir.
the burger's done, big dog.
All right, I'm coming on up.
Alright. Tell Brody too.
I will. I'll tell you what. Feels pretty dang good knowing we get to sleep in the morning. So sort of a weird deal because, like, even when Mark pulled in, we were sitting there, we were talking, we were like, man, I got to get out of your way, you know, so you can get out in the morning because Mark fishes the second day. And I'm like, no, you don't. He's like, what do you mean? I ain't going to leave until like 9 o'clock. So, sort of one of those deals that it's sort of a weird feeling. Like, I'm sure I'll wake up tomorrow morning like early as heck, like freaking out. That's like the worst. Seriously, on a serious note, the worst feeling in the entire world, for well, not entire world, but it's one of the worst feelings, is waking up in the morning and like having that like almost like having that weird feeling like you missed takeoff. I don't know how many times I've done that throughout my life, like where I wake up and I'm just like, I've never missed a takeoff, but it's always like my biggest worry. Like always, I'll wake up and I'll be like, look at my phone. I'm like freaking out if I don't know what the time is. That's like one of the worst feelings, especially being on the road. If you miss takeoff, boom. No sir, no thank you.